Okay, I think we'll get started. Everyone's getting settled. First of all, big thank you everyone for coming out tonight. I know there was a traffic jam on the bridge, but I'm so happy that everybody made it. I want to start by we have to start with a big hug, and she can thank you to Torani for hosting us here. Yay. I want a special thanks to Melanie Dubecco, who is on our board, and she's Torani's amazing president, and also Lisa Lucetta, who is chair of the board. We even before this building was started, when it was just paper, we talked about having a party here, and now we're here having it. And so I think it's a testament dreams come true. So we're happy to be here. Thank you, everybody at Torani. A little more about Torani, because we just want to say that Torani is our amazing sponsor, and they found all these new ways to help us and support us. And I think it's really true that we're having a little love fest with Torani, and we just appreciate everything about what Torani's doing for us, including this party. So you all might think that this is an International Women's Day party, but it's also our community meeting. So once a year, we like to get everyone together and tell you what's happening at She Can. And so this year we thought, let's merge it with International Women's Day. That way we can make it more fun and more interesting. So what we've got going on today, I don't know if you've noticed, there's a lot of stuff happening around the room, but we're going to start with three of our amazing scholars are going to stand up here and give TED Talks about leadership. And they're amazing, let me tell you. We have a book exchange, Women's Leadership Book Exchange. As you walk in, I had a lot of books. We had a lot of books in the office, and we brought them, and we'd love everyone to drop one off or take one if you're interested. There's Stacy. We also have in the speakeasy, where the bar is, we have a women's empowerment trivia slideshow happening. So that's a fun little way to learn a little bit more about International Women's Day. And in the back room, there's a message board. We want everyone to write down what it is that they believe about women's leadership that's important and why it should be fostered. So why do you believe women's leadership should be fostered? Please mark that down before you leave so we can use all of your messages. And I almost forgot, there's a photo booth. It's right down here. Different messages about women's empowerment. You and your friends can have pictures taken. So we're trying to make this really fun and inspiring. So I know there's some new guests, so I'm going to do a quick overview about She Can. Many of you already know what I'm going to say, but I'll make it quick so that everyone feels like they're in the know. Our mission is to build women's global leadership. This organization started 12 years ago in a beauty salon in Kigali, Rwanda, when a young woman asked me if I would help her win a scholarship. She ended up at Bucknell on a full ride, and now, 12 years later, we have hit the 100 scholar mark. Just 2 weeks ago, maybe a month ago, 100 young women from Rwanda, Cambodia, Liberia, and Guatemala have won over $27 million in scholarship funds. That's all pointed directly at building women's global leadership. So here's how we do it. We have 3 special sauces. The first one is we find the very best scholars. Myself and a team of mentors and staff go to each one of our countries every year, and we spend about 2 weeks looking for the top future leaders in the country from low-income families. And then before they're fully accepted, we immerse them in academic training and language training and challenge them to show us their leadership skills. We want to make sure that they have what it takes, not just to thrive on campus, but to return home and be a leader. Secret sauce number 2, we wrap them in the love of a team of 5 mentors. Now, these mentors are everything to them. They help them apply for and win their scholarships. They help them thrive on campus and then return home and become a leader. We have almost 500 mentors in this organization, and we're recruiting 70 more. So we'll soon, have about at least 550 to 570. The mentors love their scholars, and they love She Can, and they always try to help us in so many ways. they are the backbone of She Can, and we couldn't do it without them. And I know many of you are here tonight, and I'm looking at you, and I just want to give you a big hug and a thank you. Then the last secret sauce is we create enduring relationships with our colleges. 35 colleges have accepted our 100 scholars on full ride scholarships, and 1/3 of them, 12, have signed long-term contracts to make sure that we will send a scholar to their school every year. They love our scholars so much that they want to make sure that they get one every single year. And that's really a testament to our scholars. They are leaders on campus. They get straight A's. They return home and make all of us proud. And the schools love them. And so they make us successful. Okay, everybody got it? Pretty simple, right? Okay, I want to talk a little bit about why we believe women's leadership is critical. We live in a world that is overrun by crises. There's such a long list: wars, rape, slavery, weather threats, water shortages, food shortages. The list goes on and on. The hidden truth is that women are disproportionately affected by most of these crises. This is such an obvious thing that we don't talk about it. It's just the way it is, that women suffer because of a lot of these crises, that women are often the victims of the crises that are happening. Women have also historically been blocked from being leaders, from sitting at decision-making tables. And this has made the world off balance, off kilter, and in many ways has perpetrated or extended many of these issues or created a lot of these issues. We believe that the world would be a different world without this leadership imbalance. If women had been equally represented at leadership tables going back centuries, we would live in a more just and safe world. And it's not too late. These are systemic problems, and they take systemic solutions. And by empowering women to be leaders at these tables, we can shift societies, we can right the scales, and we can usher in systemic change. And you might say, why? Well, we all know women have unique perspectives to bring. Time and time again, it's been proven that women lead differently and often more effectively. This is why She Can exist. We exist to fix this problem. We're building a pipeline of empowered, educated, and well-connected women who are returning home to step up and be leaders. I also want to point out that this is our time. She Can is in the right place at the right time, and we can feel it. There is like a tidal wave rushing over this organization. Every day, someone reaches out to me that wants to get involved, wants to help, has a connection. It really is true. It's almost overwhelming. And it isn't just friends or people that, know people in the organization. It's important people. But when we go to our countries, it's also the leaders of the countries that reach out to us. We landed in Liberia, and within a day, we were at the vice president's birthday party. And then she invited us to her house, and then she insisted that we have dinner with her with our scholars. The same thing was true with President Sirleaf. We didn't have a meeting. We went to see her center, and the next thing we knew, we were escorted, shuffled, no, ushered over to meet her, and then she insisted that we come back with our scholars. And all of them want to work with us. They want to integrate us into their programs. They want our scholars to be a part of their program. And it just feels like we are definitely on a path. And I think that all of this is happening because of the things that I said earlier. The things about the imbalance needing to be fixed is exactly right. It's true. Fixing the leadership imbalance means fixing the world's problems. So it's time to change the leadership on this planet. And that means that more and more women have to be empowered to be leaders. After this program, like I said, I would love it if everyone walked over to the wall and said why they think it's important that women be leaders and why the time is now. Okay, let me move on. I think we have a slide. I get feedback all the time. People are confused about our team. We have actually 14 people that work in our San Francisco office and 4 that work in our countries. And I know, like an org chart, that's so boring. What are you showing us an org chart for? I just want to show you so that everyone understands we have 3 divisions or departments. We have our program team. Everybody on the program team, why don't you raise your hand? Say hi. They take care of everything scholar related. We have our community building team. They take care of mentors, volunteers, our Power to Fly Corps, as well as our college relationships, securing colleges. And then, of course, we have our amazing fundraising team that is the engine behind that makes everything work. And we have our coordinators. And Carol Chang, we couldn't do it without her because not only is she our CFO, she's our DJ. She's downstairs, and she's the woman and the gal that makes it all fun. So now what I'm going to do is bring up our 3 directors, and they're just going to give you a little update of what's happening in their departments. Okay? And we're going to start with Madison.
Hello. Hi, everybody. Thanks, Barb. Hi, so I'm Madison Shepard. I'm the program director here at SheCan. So as Barb said, the program department really handles all things scholar related. And I'm excited to be able to tell you what we've been up to in 2022. I want to start by saying that we're celebrating our scholarship winners. We had a lot of scholars just learn about their decisions at their schools. So 17 scholars now have won their scholarships and will be heading here in the fall. We have 3 more that are still anxiously awaiting their decisions, but we feel like we're going to get good news very soon and hope to see them all here later next year. Do you have anything to add, Barb? No? Okay, great. And then those scholars also helped us recruit our next class of scholars. So we were, this is the first time that we traveled to all 3 countries. We traveled to Guatemala, Cambodia, and Liberia in 1 year. And we were back in person for the first time after COVID, which was really great. We selected 17 new candidates for the program, and right now they're all working on their pre-college prep and executing leadership projects at home in their countries. Barb already mentioned a couple of our highlights. We have one, we had a meeting with President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf while we were in Liberia, and it was really exciting just to see how many women leaders in Liberia were excited about our program, and specifically these scholars being prepared to return home to their country and make an impact while they were there. Okay, so we were also back in person for the first time for leadership training since the start of the pandemic. So we hosted all of our first-year scholars in January in the storm of the century in the Bay Area. We brought them all in from across the country, and that was quite exciting.
And I just told Madison I'd jump in because it really, going from having a venue to shoving leadership training into our offices was quite a feat, and we feel like we showed off our leadership skills.
Yeah. Yes. And finally, we also, if you are potentially looking for an intern this summer, we do have a lot of scholars seeking internships for the summer break. We have 3 so far that have already secured internships this summer with the help of our network in the past month, but we have 11 more that are still looking. So if anyone has any ideas, please feel free to reach out to me, and they're all featured on our website if you want to take a look at who's looking. Thank you.
Thank you, Madison. A little shout out to the program team. We double, I don't know if you all know, but we've always taken about 8, 9, and then 10 new girls. The last couple years we took 10, and this year we took 20. We basically scaled. Not really, but we doubled. And everything went smoothly. It was really a feat. Dine DeMarley.
Hello, everyone. I'm Dine DeMarley, the Director of Community Building. And it's been an exciting year for us. We actually finally have our full team of 3 people on board. And as you might have heard earlier, community works with our mentors, we work with our volunteers, we work with the colleges that come on board, and some other programs as well. So we are in the middle of recruiting right now, and last year we recruited 100 new mentors, which was our biggest class of new mentors ever. we couldn't have done that without our volunteers kind of helping us out. We had one person, Victoria, who started 2 mentor teams. We had a lot of returning mentors who really loved it and decided to mentor a second or a third mentee, including Kristen Nicholson started a team. Michelle Freed and Terry Garnick started a new team. Heidi Hopper started a new team, Lisa Michael, and others. And now we are also we have mentors in 25 different states.
Wow.
Yeah,
I want to say, I remember when they were all my friends.
Colleges have also been a big increase this year with our 20 new scholars. So we increased the number of colleges up to 34 and have 4 new ones that started this year. They're in yellow on here. Bentley, Occidental, Claremont McKenna College, and Denison are new ones. And the colleges on the left there are coalition colleges, which they are really like family. They're great partners for us. Year after year, they take She Can scholars. They sign a contract to make sure that they do that. And the colleges on the right are also excellent colleges that can't, for one reason or another, sign a contract, but that definitely do love having She Can scholars on their campus and have in the past. Thanks to generous donors this year, we were able to provide sort of a new concept. Some donors came in, gave us money for room and board, and we went to the coalition schools and said, if you take a second scholar, we'll help cover the room and board. And so a few colleges stepped up. Beloit's going to have 2 scholars on their college, Gettysburg as well, and then University of Minnesota will have 3 starting this year, which is exciting.
It's really nice when they have a buddy to be a freshman with.
Absolutely. Our other program is our volunteer program that we call the Power to Fly Volunteers. This is where volunteers will do short-term projects with us, and sometimes they'll work directly with mentors, maybe guiding them on a project, or sometimes they'll help She Can in general. Maybe you're connecting us to colleges, or maybe you're helping us with strategic planning. So far, we have grown to 117 volunteers who are members of Power to Fly. And they've completed over 40 projects since 2022, and this is over 2,000 hours of volunteer time. Flip to my next page here. Okay. Ooh, our next brand new and exciting program is Make a Change. So Make a Change is our corporate sponsored program, and that it empowers and provides seed money for our scholars to return home and do a social impact project at home. Before explaining our 2022 projects, I want to give another big, huge thank you to Torani. In addition to hosting the event tonight, they are providing funding for many of these projects this year. I wanted to, yay, Torani! Stacy is going to come up and say a few things about that.
So here at Torani, we believe that businesses can and should create more opportunities for everybody. And here at Torani, we're deeply committed to creating opportunities for our team members, our partners, and our communities. And there could not be a more perfect realization of that purpose than this program. So we feel so freaking lucky to be able to support it. So
Same
thank
here.
you. It's such amazing women doing such amazing things. So we all know that She Can scholars are incredible change makers in their community, and this is one more opportunity for them to make tremendous impact. So whether it's been like building latrines in Liberia or creating water systems this summer in Cambodia, these women are figuring out how to make a positive impact in their community right now. And we are so excited to be able to support that. In addition to that, it's letting them go home, it's giving them learning and development opportunities, and it's really helping them build out those networks for the future. So when we talk about building opportunity, like there could not be a more perfect program. So thank you for She Can for letting us participate. Thank you.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
Thank you, Stacy.
Wow, how do I follow that? We this year had 9 scholars that applied for funding, and they all were able to get it, thanks to the generosity of Torani and also another funder, FIS, a global fintech company. They supported us last year and are supporting us again this year as well. So yeah, and I was going to name a few projects, but you already named some of them. They're fantastic. We're so excited about this program. So I will hand it back over to you then, Barb.
Okay. Well, you're going to talk about mentors?
Oh my gosh.
It's the most important
Oh
thing.
my gosh.
Don't forget. Okay.
I got so excited. So yes, we are looking for mentors right now. So we mentioned our biggest class last year was 100, but we're looking for 85 this year, and we're in the middle of recruiting right now. So if you want to get involved and help the program grow, you should talk to me or one of my team members, or there's a table over here with a lot of information. You could fill out a form. Some are on your chairs as well. You know, we're doing this for another couple of months looking for mentors, but to be honest, even last year with 100, we had to turn people away. So if you want to do this, come talk to me. Let's talk now, because we don't want to turn you away. It's a really exciting program, and we'd love to have you.
We'll get you in the system, and then you'll get the emails, and you'll come to an information session. It's not that hard.
Great. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Dine. Okay. Maureen, come on up.
I'm taking my drink.
Oh, good. You need your drink. Okay, this is Maureen Broderick. She's our development director. Over the course of Maureen's career, she's worn many hats, but I just want to share that I think the most impressive is that she is the founder of Worldwide Women. It's a platform that connects women's companies and organizations globally with consumers and each other. And she's also our landlord. And when our development director, Kelsey, went off to graduate school, Maureen stepped up and said, I want to be the development director. And so it was a perfect fit. We're lucky to have her, and I'll let you take it from here.
Okay, help me. Help me out.
I can
study
help
my
you out.
notes.
Okay, I got them right here, so
Okay.
you're all set.
All right. Hi, everyone. I'm Maureen Broderick. I am the development director and the landlord. And I've been doing this role for about 1.5 years. When I took it on, I said, okay, maybe 8 months. And so here we are 1.5 years later. It's been a lot of fun. So you've already heard tonight that from Barb, from Dine, from Madison, this place is
Hold this up to your
Oh, this place is on fire. I really mean it. It's so exciting to be a part of She Can right now. And from a fundraising standpoint, there's 2 reasons, key reasons, I think, of why we're flaming in the fundraising side of the house. And the first one is the gala. It was, as all of you know, wonderful, amazing. Back at the War Memorial Live, beautiful. 10 scholars shared their stories, which was so exciting. And we raised $1.3 million. I know. It was a bonanza, event for us. The year before we raised $650, so which we thought was a bonanza then, and at 1.3, so we doubled, which is really, really exciting. So thank you all. And the second reason we are on fire is our pledge campaign, which we launched last July, I believe. And Barb and I went out and we asked our donors if they would consider pledging their annual donations for 5 years. And by golly, by the end of December, the 31st, Barb and I were really pleased to find 30 of our donors had agreed to pledge.
For 5 years.
For 5 years, for a total of, $880,000 of our operating budget. That's 50% of our operating budget almost for 5 years. It's just amazing. It's transforming. So tonight, both of us are here to say thank you
Big
to
thank you.
everybody who pledged.
And gave at the gala.
And gave at the
Exactly.
gala and pledged, and you really enabled us to strategically plan and manage our expansion and growth for the next 5 years. It's a big deal. So thank you. You're our change maker angels, and we love you.
Well done.
We
well
love you.
said.
We love you. So
Well said. Thank you.
Are you done? Am
Wait,
I
we have
done?
one more slide. You can stay right here. Okay.
yes.
Everybody needs to get out their phone and put November 4th in there, because that's when the party is next year. The best party in the Bay.
It really is. It really is.
It's a rockin' party, especially because we have Carol Chang, the DJ of the year. Okay, thank you.
I'm good.
Okay. Thank you, everybody. That was awesome. Okay, we're now going to get to the part where we get to hear from our scholars. We have 3 amazing scholars who are going to give us TED Talks. Yay! First thing they're going to do is introduce themselves, and then they'll come up one at a time and give their talks. So come on up, you guys. All right. Woohoo! Rosie, you start them off.
All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Rosie Ith. I'm from Cambodia. I'm a recent SheCan graduate. I graduated last year, 2022. Like I said, I grew up in Phnom Penh, Cambodia. I'm the oldest in the family, and I have 2 younger siblings. My mom is a stay-home mom, but really I think she's the POTUS of the house because she basically runs everything. And my dad owned a small glass installation store at my grandmother's house. Currently, I'm pursuing a master's degree in international policy at Stanford, so it's just across the bay. And after I graduate, I'm hoping to go back home, working in international organization, focusing on specifically women empowerment and women education. So just like what SheCan is doing, but more localized. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Rosie. I think it's on.
All right. Can
There you go.
Okay, perfect. Hello, everyone. My name is Concesse. I grew up in Rwanda. I come from a single mom household. I have 2 brothers and 2 sisters. I'm a senior student right now. I'm graduating in May. Super exciting. I'm doing architecture, and after graduation, I'm hoping to return home and start working and developing affordable and sustainable architecture for Rwandans.
Wait, say it slower. Say it slower.
Okay. I want to go back home and start developing sustainable and affordable architecture for Rwandans.
Yay. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Riya Ou. I'm a SheCan scholar from Cambodia. I grew up in a small village called Bakom. It sounds very similar to back home. I have 2 other older siblings and I'm the youngest one. Here I go to Gettysburg College in Pennsylvania, majoring in economics with a minor in data science. I'm graduating this semester as well, so super excited. After graduation, I hope to go back home and work in international organization with the focus on help improving economic policies in Cambodia.
Awesome. Aren't they impressive? They haven't even started working. Wait till world wait for them. Okay, Rosie, you're going to stay, and you guys, we'll call you up in a second.
All right. Thank you, Barb. So to begin with, can I ask everyone to participate and raise your hands up if you have been inspired by a woman in your life? Wow, everyone, yes, great. Keep your hands up if that someone is your mother. Perfect, we have a mix of group, that's great. Let's see if I can convince everyone to raise their hands up at the end of this talk then. So since this is about leadership speech, let's dive into the concept a little bit. A leader is defined as someone who has the ability, the opportunities to be of service to others. This allowed the society most often to assume that it only applies to those with high positions. And because of the way history has unfolded, it's mostly with men. And so that's why in this year, International Women's Day, I hope to redefine who we see as leaders. And by doing that, recognizing the first leaders we all know. So let me tell you a little bit about my first leader, my mom. A few weeks ago, I was on a phone call with her, catching up on what's going on with our life. I was working on my schoolwork, so out of a habit, I was, sorry, I just want to make sure everyone still hear me. So out of a habit, I complained about my foreign policy assignment I was trying and struggling to finish. My mom, while busy making lunch, literally enough to feed 15 people, she paused to tell me to take care of myself, and then went back to chopping vegetables and meat for the stew that she was making. A few days later, when we were calling again, she asked me if I was able to finish my assignment that I was struggling in. So here I am, struggling to manage like 1 in 5 things I have going on with my life, while my mom managed to remember every details about my life and attending to like a million other things she needs to do every day in order to keep the life of those around her happy and healthy. And when I said a million other things, I wasn't exaggerating, really. Back at home, because my dad owned a small glass installation store, he needs about 7 to 10 people working in the business. And so we have always have about like 15 people eating together. So then if you time 15 people eating 3 meals per day, 7 days per week, 365 days per year. That's 1,095 meals per year. And trust me on the math, I was an econ major, so I actually did the math. But that's not all that she does. She's also the one who is doing the laundry, the grocery, ironing. She's also a part-time entrepreneur, running my dad's business when he's not home, and helping out my grandmother's tailoring store. So I'm sharing all of this because whenever we talk about a leader we're aspired to become, we often talk about their resiliency, their empathy, their creativity, adaptability, you name it. But we never see these words attached to a mom's resume. My mom and all the moms in the world never claim to possess these immense leadership skills or take the credits that they are well deserve. But who is more resilient than the moms who carry babies for 9 months while coping with physical and hormone changes while are expecting to work business as usual? Who is more empathetic than our moms who always offer us shoulders to cry on and making sure that we're being taken care of, just like what my mom did with me on the phone call? Who is more adaptive, creative, and skills with time management than mom who managed to put us all to bed with clean clothes, teeth brush, and a house in full order? Well, sometimes. And finally, who is more skilled in team buildings than moms who work tirelessly to support everyone? Just like how my mom was able to, making sure that my sibling, my dads, and I are well taken care of as we go on to pursue our own dreams. Now, I do acknowledge that not everyone has the opportunity and the privilege to be taken care of as I was. But this redefined definition of who is a leader goes beyond just biological moms. It's obviously include our mentors, our supervisors, or even our friendly neighbors who are always there whenever we need them. The love and care that these women demonstrated emanates leadership skills like no others. Because of the love, the care, and the hard work that my mom had to go through in order to help me pursue my dream, I am able to become a change maker I am now. And as a change maker, I would like to use this opportunity to ignite a movement, the one in which we recognize our first leaders as the leaders they truly are. Because now it is time that we give them the credits they deserve. Now it is time that spotlights are on them. Because now it is more obvious than ever that women are leaders. Just look at our first leaders, our moms. Thank you.
Wow, Rosie, let me give you a hug. You know what I love about Rosie's idea is if we can manage to change the definition of a leader, there's going to be a lot more women leaders than men. Yeah, and with the impending crises that, with global warming, we're going to need people to be taking care of people. So thank you for that message, Rosie. That was awesome.
Thank you, Laura.
Thank you. Okay, Connie is up next. Go for it.
All right. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. So when I was first given the opportunity to speak today, I was very excited because I think there's so much that we can talk about when it comes to women in leadership. I wanted to address something very unique to women. So I thought, why not talk about self-empowerment? Self-empowerment is simply taking control of your own life. And the key word here is power, because empowerment is really about power, and it's the power that sits within us. As women, we tend to seek so much of external validation that when we don't get it, we question ourselves. I thought this topic was perfect because of what I was experiencing back then. I had just returned from my trip to Italy, which was amazing. I got a chance to explore so much art, cuisine, and heritage. It was very amazing. I felt like one of those scholars I used to read about when I was a little girl who would embark on these journeys to explore Europe and return to England completely transformed. That was very, very unique experience. And I was 2 weeks into my internship with Hart Howerton, which is an architecture firm based in San Francisco. And everything was going great. But then I started to experience a lot of self-doubt. I started to doubt myself at my job, in my research. I started to question my worth and my intelligence. And coming from my mother's household, this is very, very, very unique to me. I remember it's a little bit ironic because during the fall break, I was having a conversation with my mentor, who's here today, Suzanne Russo, about the imposter syndrome. I was very curious to understand how it happened to a person to feel like an imposter. And I guess now we can say that I know what that feels like. And the thing that's really unfortunate about the imposter syndrome, it's not that the imposter syndrome actually is not about the fact that you feel like you don't belong as a woman, or that you're not smart enough as a woman. The imposter syndrome is feeling all those perfectly normal human feelings of uncertainty, but then you convince yourself that you have to maintain the idea of perfection to keep up appearances, you know. And what's really unfortunate about this fear is that it robs us of the opportunity to grow as women, to live up to our full potential. I was scared that people would think I'm not smart enough if I asked the question at my job. So I didn't ask and spent the entire day, if not weeks, worrying about what that little one thing I didn't bother to ask about. Until one day I asked and I didn't feel stupid. On the contrary, I felt smart, empowered, and way better equipped to do my job. And I realized this is a pattern in my life. I put things off every time. I put great projects off because I'm scared of being judged. And it reminded me of this myth that men tend to shy away from opportunities until they master the subject, while men come across as confident, overconfident if you ask me, even if they don't know anything. And at the end of the day, it's all about the fact that we fear and maybe they don't. And this is what I think we need to work on as women. We need to recognize that every time we fear, every time we seek external validation or doubt ourselves is a time we are giving up our power. And that is a choice we choose to make. So let's not do that. Let's seize that power and become our best selves, because we can. Thank you.
Okay, I think being an intern is probably the hardest job. You don't know anything, and everybody knows everything, and everyone has way more credentials. And in Connie's situation, she's even from a different country. So I think testament to you to rise up and really overcome that while you're at an internship. So good job.
Thank you.
That was awesome. Okay, now we're going to hear from Riya, our last speaker.
Hi again, everyone. So I've never done any TED Talk ever in my life. So when I decided to do this TED Talk today on the theme of women leadership, I had to really sit down and reflect on what leadership actually means to me. And when did leadership become such a core component of shaping me to become the person I am today? Like many other people, I strongly believe that great leaders are built and not born. To me, a great leader is built not only by their success and achievement, but also on the foundation of their unique story, who they are, where they come from, every challenge they face, how they overcome them, and more importantly, the opportunities they have to learn and grow to become an even better leader. Unfortunately, in the world that we live in, too many people were born into situations that just don't allow opportunities at all, not to even mention leadership opportunities. A lot of women, like the one in my hometown, Cambodia, or my home country, Cambodia, where a lot of social norms and gender roles are still very prominent, women are not encouraged to push themselves or to go far in life. My story is no different from many other stories you've heard of other Cambodian women. However, my story took a completely different turn, and that's what I want to share with you today. I grew up in a small village in Cambodia, like I introduced myself, called Bakhom, which sounds very similar to back home, where everyone knows each other. Most people do either farming or fishing for a living, so we always have fresh fish and food all the time. My house in that village is surrounded by all sorts of tropical fruits you can think of. Either it's mango, papaya, banana, jackfruit, and the list just goes on and on. And that's what I love the most about my hometown, the strong sense of community and a lot of just natural resources. The one issue that a small village like my hometown has is a lack of resources and opportunities. Growing up, we didn't have access to electricity until about 15 years ago. And a lot of the people, or everyone in my village, including my own family, had been using water from the wells until about 5 years ago that we had access to clean water finally. In school, there was never any fun school trip or any extracurricular activities at all. And in science classes, there was no lab or experiments because we simply did not have the resources for it. So you might wonder, how did I come from that small village back home to be here sharing my story with all of you today? Courage. That's the answer to that question. Instead of just going with the flow with the fate of my life, graduating high school, and probably go to a teacher training center and become a primary school teacher very close to home, like my mom always wanted me to, here I am, being more than or about 8,000 miles away from home, in a country where everything is completely new, unfamiliar, and at times very overwhelming. My late grandfather, who survived Khmer Rouge genocide, always said, when you come from nothing, everything is something. I took approach seriously in life. I learned to appreciate everything I have. And most importantly, I learned not to only make the most out of everything I have, I learned to make something out of nothing. When I couldn't afford to take extra classes, like English classes in school, I self-taught myself English. Is anyone here a fan of The Ellen Show? That's what I watched growing up. I watched The Ellen Show on YouTube every day, from a point where I have the subtitle on and not being able to understand anything at all, and just laugh along when the audience laugh at Ellen's joke, to a point where I was able to completely understand everything without having the subtitle on. Like everyone else in my village, my family, none of them speaks English. So I practice speaking English to myself in front of the mirror, or sometimes I record myself speaking English. You might or might not, some other time I might or might not talk in English to my dog, which makes my sister thought I was going crazy for a second. And some other time I remember I used to even run after foreigners or tourists who come across in our village, just so that I have the opportunity to practice my English with them, to see whether they're able to understand me and to see how much progress I've made in my English learning journey. I applied that same approach in other aspects of life, like prepare for my national exam. And as a result, I got an A. And from that opportunity, I got cash prizes and some other rewards directly from the Prime Minister of Cambodia. I carry that mindset and approach even when I come here to the US. This past 3 or 4 years at Gettysburg College, I had the courage to really always put my foot at every door with a curious mind and a positive attitude. I've applied and participated in everything that you could think a liberal arts college like Gettysburg could offer. Either it's a summer fellowship in Washington, D.C., a leadership conference in Louisiana, or an immersion project in the US-Mexico border. Sometimes I apply for things that I know upfront that I might not even have a chance, but I still do it anyway. Because the courage I had to do everything I could to succeed, it's just as strong as the courage I have to be okay and accept rejection. With that mindset, that's how I landed my first on-campus job in the library. While everyone else just simply walked out of the library after the international student orientation ended, I walked up and introduced myself to a librarian, simply expressing my interest in working there, and then I got the job. But it wasn't all about seizing the opportunities. It was also having a very curious mind with a positive attitude. I started that first job knowing nothing, and I really meant nothing about library technology or system. Because back home, when you check out a book from the library, you sign your name down, the title of the book, on a physical notebook. But I never hesitated to admit when I didn't know an answer or I didn't know something. The courage I had in me pushes me to constantly ask for feedback from my supervisor so that I can improve my skills and become better. And before I knew it, I got promoted to be the student supervisor. Where now I help mentor and train new students higher in the library. I'm sharing my story with you today because here I am as a leader from a small village back home in Cambodia. It is very often that women who were born in a situation very similar to me to be complacent and don't feel the encouragement to push harder and go far. And we as a society need to ensure that we guide and encourage women to seize opportunity and challenge them to change their life. The courage I have to really put my foot at every door with a curious mind and a positive attitude has helped me get out of my small village to be here today. And my commitment as a leader now and in the future is to make sure that I show the example to other girls in Cambodia and maybe everywhere else in the world to find the courage within themselves to do the same or more.
You should be very proud. I just want to say that Riya is one in a million. And we know because we go all over the world looking for the Riyas, the young women who are from the rural areas who really, put their mind to it and excelled in ways that allow them to really stand out and be ready to come to a college like Gettysburg. And so you're a gem, Riya, and we're so happy we have you. Thank you. Okay, wow to all of you. That was amazing. They're not girls, they're young women. You killed it. Okay. The last thing we want to do is just tell you how to get involved, okay? I think we have a slide. And I think on your chair there's a little get involved card. Everybody has one and a She Can pen. And we'll get there. But everybody has a card, so you don't need that. You don't need it. There's a lot of ways to get involved. As Dine said, we need mentors. And I know there's a lot of mentors here, but I think there's a lot of people that maybe are interested, so please go down and give us your name. We also have the Power to Fly Volunteer Corps. Erica is sitting right in front of me. That she runs that program. Lots of fun projects that we need help with. And then Dine and I need help getting connected to colleges. If you know a leader of a college, either in admissions or a trustee, please check that box, and then we'll give you a call or send you an email. And as Madison said, we're looking for internships. Our scholars are hired again and again. We have a lot of companies that want them to come back because they are stars. And then make a change. We need corporate sponsors. We do have 2 this year, but we're going to need more next year. And also, we live off of donations, so we'd love to help you make a donation if you're interested in that. And with that, I want to just say thank you again to the Torani team and also to my team. I often do not thank them, but I think they did a fabulous job as usual tonight with this party, and I think that you guys rock. So. Thanks again for coming, everybody. Bye-bye. Have fun. Again, why you think women's leadership is important, trivia slideshow, the photo booth. Take a book, even if you didn't bring one, okay?